Queens head coach Jim Brown here on the ASUN Gameday podcast.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing swell, man. It's been an
enjoying
awesome day. Yeah.
It's
Hot, very, really good event. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. We try to put it together. We growing. We're gonna get there. So year 2, D1. What is the one thing that's gonna make Queens a threat in the ASUN this season?
I think continue to focus on us. We've been doing a great job of building and improving as individuals, and I think for that our team chemistry has been better as well. So I think as long as we continue to focus on Queens and Queens women's basketball and improving, in every facet of the game, I think that we're going to be, in much better position this year.
Okay. So looking just around the conference as a whole, what are your thoughts on just the current state of ASUN women's basketball right now?
I try to explain to a lot of people. So I obviously played Division I. I played in the Big East back then when it was a little bit bigger. I played, I got to play in the CAA back when we sent 3 teams to the NCAA tournament. I got to coach, Patriot League, coach again in the CAA, and coach in the ACC. And I don't care what anyone say, the ASUN women's basketball, we're hands down one of the better conferences from top to bottom in women's basketball. I think if you look at the teams in our conference, you have NCAA caliber teams who can actually get to the tournament and win some games in the conference. So I think hopefully the conference as a whole will get a lot more due that they deserve, because we have some great teams, great coaches, and really talented young ladies.
Yep. So speaking of that talent, let's shift the focus back to the Royals.
Yeah.
Give me some names of some people we need to be watching for this year.
Honestly, I'm really excited about a lot of new additions that I have, and even some returners. Obviously, returning Jordan Weaver, who was ASUN all-freshman team. I'm expecting some great things out of her. Just even more so growing her game in the leadership realm. Because a freshman, you're not a freshman anymore. You don't have your sophomore slump, right? So what did you do? How do they say, add to your bag, right? And she'll get to show that and display that. I added a really great talent in the guard spot as well. Nikki Gwynn, a transfer who was an all-conference kid in the MEAC, who I think will come in, and she's made an immediate impact, because that is probably one of the most competitive young ladies I've ever been around in my life. Had a couple of JUCO transfers who I think are going to make an immediate impact. And then, not to slight Allie Johnson, she had a phenomenal summer. I think she's going to come back in a different role this year. You're returning Kennedy Fuller, who again had another great summer. So it's been pretty awesome to see the returning 8, how they have really raised their game to the new 7, right? And our practices are extremely competitive. And honestly, right now, you ask me, I don't have a starting 5. Right, because it's just so every day someone else does something that gets my attention. So
Gotcha.
I think we're just the biggest thing to make a short answer is that we have a lot more depth. Which I think will definitely serve us and help us once we get into ASUN play.
Okay. So last question I have for you: getting ready to hit the court.
Yeah.
Players are doing their thing. It's time to go. What song are you getting you in the mindset to do what you got to do?
So, believe it or not, I love gospel music.
I
love gospel music. So I really enjoy "You're the Lifter." That's on repeat for me. When I wake up in the morning, driving into work, leaving work, practice, before practice. That's my go-to. "You're the Lifter" sort of thing. So I'm more of a gospel music kind of thing, but because I'm from Brooklyn, I got throwing some Biggie every once in a while, some DMX, a little bit of that. So that's my little guilty
that's
pleasure.
The balance. Okay,
yeah, gospel and Biggie and DMX.
Yeah, right. That's the combination.
That's the combination. Let's go.
Well, thank you for your time.
Of course.
Good luck
Thank you
this
so
season.
much. Appreciate you.
William Hall here on the ASUN Game Day podcast with Erica Lambert, North Florida's women's basketball head coach. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. This is my first time to ever do this, so I'm really thankful to be here.
Well, this is our first time to ever do this, so I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Great.
What are you most excited about coming into your first season?
Well, I think for me, I really get excited about taking on challenges. And so the University of North Florida women's basketball program has a history of just having really high character people, really high academic. We've had some good seasons in the past, but we've never won a championship at the Division I level. And so I have some really lofty goals, and they won't happen overnight. So what I'm most excited for this season is really just to start building the foundation to make that happen.
Got you. So as you're starting to work on building that foundation, what student athletes who do you have that you feel like is ready to really make an impact on the court this season?
Well, the 3 young ladies I have here with me today are our seniors. So we have 3 seniors who are all, 2 of them are 5th-year players and 1 is a 6th-year player. So I have the luxury of being a first-year head coach with some really good experience on my roster. For a while there, right after I got hired, before I had a coaching staff, our 5th-year senior, Emma Brorman, was my coaching staff. She has the most institutional knowledge of being the longest tenured one on our team. I'll ask a lot of them. 2 are point guards and 1 is our post, and they'll be our primary scorers this season.
Got you. So coming in, just sort of like some, I guess, outside eyes looking on the conference coming into it, how do you feel the women's basketball in the ASUN looks from your point of view overall, just looking around the league?
Sure. Well, I tell you, it's interesting because we have some programs and some coaches in this league that I have been studying for years. Just, as an outsider, just learning more about basketball and how to be a good head coach, knowing that I wanted to do that one day. And so, Coach Smezko and Coach Bria, and just there's some really good teams in this league. And so I never really knew at that time that I would be opposing on the sideline with them. But I think that there's just a rich history here. And even as we go into the future and leagues all over the country are kind of changing and adapting, the ASUN is well respected in women's basketball.
Gotcha. It's good news. Good to hear. Last question. Getting ready for a game, get ready to hit the court. What's your hype song? What gets you where you need to be mentally?
So I get picked on for this because I have like a very interesting pregame playlist, but I have to listen to 2 songs. One is like from when I was a player, Nuck If You Buck, and then also followed up by Every Praise by Hezekiah Walker.
Oh,
back to back.
Okay. All right, that's the combo. That's interesting. I'm here for it, though. I love it. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate you joining us, and good luck this season, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. ASUN Game Day podcast. William Hall sitting here with Central Arkansas's new head coach, Tony Kemper. Coach, how you doing?
Very good. It's good to be here.
Yeah,
great event.
Thank you. So I know you're ready to hit the ground running with UCA. What can we expect from the team this year?
Well, I think that I think we've done a good job of building a pretty good base of talent in a short amount of time. That's different in this day and age. You can kind of do it with the portal.
Yeah.
We went in the portal a little bit, also recruited junior college heavily, and have added some good freshmen that I think we needed to rebuild the talent level from where it was, and I think we've done that. So I think it's a big year just to kind of we got to learn each other, if that makes sense. So system, we play a lot of man defense. We like to play fast. Typically, we've been a pretty high three-point shooting team, and I think we've built a group that can do that here at Central Arkansas.
Okay. Who's the name that we should be focused on this year?
Yeah, so I think that's probably one of the more difficult questions for me to answer.
Gotcha.
Over some coaches that maybe have established teams in this league.
That's fair.
I brought 2 really good ones with me today. Randrea Wright was a returner last year that had a good year as a sophomore for UCA. I spoke about adding some talent out of the portal, and from junior college we brought Leah Mafua, who's been a great player in junior college, was on a really good championship level Dodge City Community College team last year. So I think those 2, and there's many others that really have played well in practice. We got Jade Upshaw from Arkansas State. She's had really good days. Kiera Prim and Kinley Fisher are returners. I mean, I could kind of go around a while, and I think that's something that I'm excited about, the depth of people that I see impact every day in practice. I think we have some of that to sort out as a group. When the lights are on bright, who do we bank on and who do we rely on then?
Yep. So coming in, a fresh set of eyes on the Atlantic Sun. What is your, just coming in, your impression of just where we stand as a conference in the sport of women's basketball?
Well, I know it's very good. At my last stop, I was there for 6 years as head coach. I'm not sure we played an ASUN team in the 6 years, so I don't have personal experience, but I know that, to win games in this league, we're going to have to score the basketball. It's very, very good in women's basketball. I think it's probably pretty fast-paced, and so, I think in the way that we're trying to build our team, I think we are working towards, we have to have an offensive mindset, because I don't think many games are going to be played in the 50s, to win. So I know it's a talented league, and one we're really excited to get to work in.
Okay. So let's take it a little bit to the left. If you're not coaching basketball, what sport is it for you that you're coaching?
Oh, I got you. Probably football.
Football? Okay.
So I'm from a really small town in Kansas, and when back before all this sports specialization, you got to do everything.
Yeah.
And so I played it all. I could have done football or basketball in college and went the basketball route.
Okay.
So I still enjoy watching football. At UCA, we're at a great spot for football. We got a great football program there too. So, I would probably say that.
Okay.
I have a football projected voice.
Got you.
I would be fine out there on the field.
Okay. All right. Well,
ask her, Andrea.
Okay.
Ask Leah what she wants to hear.
We'll double check on that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time and good luck this season.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
William Hall, ASUN Gameday podcast.
I have a couple pieces. Michaela Edwards, who's actually here with us, she's a senior this year, very vocal, does a great job of keeping the team together. But I also think, one of my newcomers, Eden Battle, is definitely one of those leaders, generals on the floor. But we have a couple young ladies that, like I said, everyone has a voice and does a great job of kind of just utilizing it to make sure that we're together. But I think that Michaela Edwards and Eden Battle will definitely be the two that keeps us afloat.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you.
William Hall, ASUN Gameday podcast, here with Chancellor Dugan. Just first question, Gracie Merkel, freshman of the year. She's our preseason defensive player of the year.
Right.
Talk to me about the impact when she's on the floor that she brings.
It's just, I was talking to my staff the other day, and it's just because she's coming off of a, injury that she's had over the summer. So, we haven't had her out there a lot, but she's just a difference maker when she's out there. Our team is just more confident when she's on the floor. She brings that defensive pressure and just rim protector, to us. And, the girls they just play a little bit, with their shoulders back a little bit, and they play a little bit more confident, knowing that even on the offensive end, they can just throw it up, close to the rim, and she's gonna get it.
Yeah. Give me some other names that maybe we're I don't want to say sleeping on, but maybe that we're missing from a just overall. I mean, her obviously we know about her accolades and her power, but give me another name that's going to be able to push you this year.
I think that Haley Harrison, is going to be She led us in assists last year. She's really just, our Swiss Army knife. She just does a little bit of everything. She can score, she can defend, she can rebound, she can make an assist pass. She can help defend. So she's just really an all-around really good player. I'm leaning on her a little bit more this year to look to score because she can score at all three levels, does a great job, at looking for her shot. I've really pressed upon her this summer to really do that in our offense. And then we've got, two newcomers, and one that's, been, injured for the past couple of years, Ashley Harris. She played, back, when we were, still Division II. So she's coming off of a couple of years of injuries back to back. And she's had a really nice summer. And then Hope Savory, and Peyton Gray have really come in and just lended, their experience and expertise expertise to us. And then, of course, we've got 2 returners, on the point guard, was Mia Brown and Jayla Butler. So I really look forward to seeing what we can do as a team and as a group. Not rely so much on, just 1 or 2 people, just spread the scoring around a little bit more.
Okay. You've been here several years in the ASUN, in the conference. So looking at it now, with the membership changes and where we sit right now, what is your overall thought about ASUN women's basketball, where it stands today?
What I look at the coaches in the league. I look at how, what veteran coaches we have in the league. And, we have some really, really sharp newcomers that, have elevated everybody's game. And I think that, that the coaches in this league are really, really good. They can, give a last-second play. They're going to draw something up that's going to get them a score. So when I look at that, I know that the level of talent and the level of competitiveness is going to be really, really good. So I think ASUN women's basketball, is definitely, one conference. I look at it, all the conferences across the league. I look at as a sleeper, like you're saying, with our team. I think that, our league, women's basketball wise, I think we should be pushing for 2 teams, in the NCAA. I think that our brand of basketball and our league gets us ready for that.
Okay. I would say your name is synonymous with basketball, just from playing and coaching. But if you were not a basketball coach, can you give me a sport that you think you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
It was my lifelong goal until I started to grow. I wanted to be a jockey. I mean, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
What else do I want to be?
That's fair. Okay. That was it.
So that was it, and I was a swimmer, in high school. Didn't play basketball in high school, so I swam in high school, and then, got to Eastern Kentucky, and I was swimming, and the women's basketball assistant coach had me in a PE class and asked me to come try out, and I always really wanted to play. I was a huge Jenny Crum fan, growing up. So I always really wanted to play, basketball, but I grew so fast. My knees weren't good, but then I started playing in college and just fell in love with the game. So other than being a jockey, I would have been a swimming coach. But
Okay.
So since I started basketball, I just love basketball. I love that every single time down the floor it's something different. On the offensive end, on the defensive end. You can draw up a million plays, and you can draw the same play every time down, and every time down there's something different. So I just love the game.
Love it. I love it. Jockey, coach of swimming.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Good luck this season.
Thank
you for your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
William Hall, ASUN Gameday podcast, here with North Alabama women's basketball head coach Missy Tyler. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm here.
It's been a great day.
It's been a great day. It's been a great day. So, just a simple question. Entering a new season, just talk about your expectations for this UNA team.
Every year just is, so different. When you've been doing this for a long time like I have, it's just taking the pieces that you have and just trying to mold that group together. And, this started back last spring. And then we worked through the summer, and we did some things a little differently than we have in the past. And just try to get those competitive juices flowing. So we played a lot more, actually played. And we got away from a little bit of skill development and did more focus on just trying to build a competitive spirit. And that's where it starts. We're just trying to put them all together in the correct spots and then get them the value, the aspect of competing and trying to win.
Got you. I know it's early, but what are some names that you're looking at and you're like, they might be ready to have that breakout year?
It's funny, yesterday we had an exhibition, a scrimmage, I should say, with a Power 5 school, and the coach asked me before the game who I thought was my best player, and then she said, "Who do you think mine is?" And I said, "Well, I don't know yet." And that's good.
Yeah.
I think we're well-rounded. I think we have a lot of challenges right now as a coaching staff to figure out who's starting and who's playing and what rotations, but I think it's a good problem to have. Of course, we have Alexis Callens, one of our top returning players, back, and she's added a lot to her game, and she's always been an excellent three-point shooter, but she's getting to the basket now and doing some different things. I love our point guard play. Sarah Wagamuth has really improved from a year ago, and we have a freshman in Veronay, and she goes by Tweety.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty cool. Everybody's calling her little Tweety Bird, and I tell you what, she's fun. But I love our point guard play right now. Raymond Pegues has played really well. Just a growth from a freshman to a sophomore year, and I would say that about our entire freshman to sophomore class. Just the growth they made. Emma Kate Tittle, Cameron Jones has really improved. We've just seen a lot of growth in that area.
Mm-hmm. Big picture question, just around the conference. What are your thoughts on just the ASUN, where we stand right now in the sport of women's basketball as a whole?
I think just in a great position. I think there's a lot of teams that, that have coaches that have been around, and then I think that we have some new head coaches that'll bring some youthfulness and just a different perspective to the conference. But I think it's going to be extremely competitive. It's always taken great guards to win the league, and I think that's important. And I think we have a team full of some good guards, but I think every team is going to need that to be successful. And then, probably the teams that are going to separate themselves are the ones that are going to have excellent guards, but then also have a dominating big, and who's able to put those kind of teams, out on the court on a daily basis.
Okay. Last question. I've heard it's either been the one that's got the most thought put into it, or people have just given me the answer instantly. So, if you're not coaching basketball, what sport are you coaching?
What sport?
Yeah, what
Actual
sport would it be?
Football. I love
football.
football.
All right.
I love football. It's interesting. My son is 5 now, and he's playing flag football, and I'm like, yes. I love it. He doesn't understand a thing, but I'm like pumped up. I can't wait for him to go down that journey. But I love football. I'm a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I love college football. Doesn't matter who's playing, so it'd definitely be football.
Definitely football. Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. Well, appreciate your time.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us, and good luck this season.
Thank
Coach.
you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Yep.
William Hall, ASUN Gameday podcast, here with Stetson women's basketball head coach Lynn Brea. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great, William. How about yourself?
I'm doing good here at the ASUN basketball tip-off.
I'm so happy to be here. This is terrific.
Hey,
thank
We tried
this
to
is
put on a good event.
y'all have done an amazing job. I just love it. I've been in this
Appreciate
league a long time. It's the first time we've really done it like this, and this is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So, first,
And I get to talk to you.
you just made my
right
day,
there.
So I'm good now.
It's all worth the trip. This is all worth the trip.
Thank you. So just starting out, purple
Yes.
shoes, purple
Yep.
laces.
Purple shoes. Yep.
Talk to me about that.
I got quite a few pair of purple shoes. So last year, William, I'm glad you asked me about this. I started wearing purple. My mother had dealt with Alzheimer's for about 13 years. She did pass on this past May. But last year, I started just to wear purple shoes every game. It's definitely not our colors at Stetson.
Right.
But I just feel like I want to I just want to have awareness and create awareness for Alzheimer's. It affects so many millions of people, and even the caretakers. So this year, our first game is our Alzheimer's game, and we also do the We Back Pat. The SC does. They do that, I think, in February. We also participate in that because I just feel like that. The purple shoes, at least people go, well, I don't wonder why she's wearing purple. So I guess I'm the coach with the purple shoes. I'm going to do it again this year, just wear them for every game.
Okay.
I've also had, some coaches that we play, they bust out in some purple shoes.
Okay.
And I really
Gotcha.
appreciate that. Carl Semesco being one of them. Carl and I have, when we get on the court, we fight the fight and we go at each other. But he came out in some purple shoes, just really meant a lot to me, and just had a lot of people support it, which is really, really, I think, something that's a good cause.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
So just shifting a little bit back to the basketball.
Yeah.
I know you've got a unique perspective, being your history in the conference. Talk to me about where you see ASUN women's basketball today, as far as where we are as a conference in that sport.
That's a great question. It's really evolved. I mean, it's so different than it was, 15 years ago when I first got in the league. I think it's gotten a lot better. I mean, some of the teams we lost, I wish we hadn't lost them. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but I think the teams we've added have been so terrific. I think the the game has gotten better overall too. But we've added some new coaches, and I think those coaches have done a really, really great job of just really developing their programs. There's not one game I ever go into and go, man, this is this is an easy one. You don't have any of those anymore, and there's definitely not any of those in our league. And I think it's a league that's very, very competitive. I think there's more parity than ever. I think the guard play is phenomenal as far as I think shooting a three. There's going to be a lot of teams that put up a lot of threes. I mean, that's really one of the major changes I've seen is so many of these teams now. It used to be just Florida Gulf Coast. Now just about everybody's putting up a lot of threes. And I think, you look at some other teams as far as inside play. You look at a team like Kennesaw, I think Blue's done a really good job of her inside play, and she's got obviously good guards, but we didn't have a lot of post kids. You look at Bellarmine and, the post. And I think that's really good, and I think it's forced us to kind of all go. Maybe we needed to get a post to counter that. It can't just be five guards. So I think the style of play is really changed. I think the quality of I think we've always had good guards, but I think the post play has really gotten a lot better.
Okay, zoning in on Stetson this year. What are you looking at? What should we expect from your team this year? With the change of the game, and what will we be looking at? And then also, along with that, who is a player that we probably should also be watching and keep an eye on?
I think for us it's I think we'll be different than last year. Last year, we really we struggled. I mean, we just could not find any type of rhythm. We just really struggled. 2 years ago, we come off 20 wins, but we lost a ton of leadership and a ton of players. So, we really had a hard time replacing those kids we lost from 2 years ago. 2 of them were graduate transfers, and I think that's where the world is with this portal and this, So this year we've added, again, 6 or 7 new players, and I don't see that changing with most of us. It's going to happen. But I do think what we've added this year is our players that fit more who we are on and off the court. We have finally added a point guard. But I think the players you got to really look for are the ones that have been in our program for a little while. I'm just a huge believer still in, having kids be in your program for, 4 years or at least 3 years. And, when you talk about Jemiah Turner, who's been in our program 5 years. I mean, we do call her the old lady, but, she knows who we are and has been there 5 years, and she knows what we're about. She can be a glue to hold the kids together. And I think when you talk about Kamaya McNeil, we had to play her at the point last year. Now we don't. We can slide her to the wing if we want to. But Kamaya's had probably the best preseason that she's ever had as far as our off-season workouts. And I think she's going to be just phenomenal. And then I think you got to talk about Kaya Turner, who's been in our program for, 4 years now. So I think when you, even though all the new ones are going to help us, it still comes down to that gel and those kids, being the glue to hold us together.
Yep. McNeil coming in with our preseason ASUN.
Yes.
Made that team there.
Yeah,
to your point.
Yeah, and I think that was well deserved.
Yeah.
She worked hard, and she's worked extremely hard to really add to that for this year.
Who is a individual that you feel potentially could be, I don't want to say, like a sleeper, so to speak, someone that we may not be thinking about, but you've seen her, she's giving you a lot of effort, and you think, probably be able to turn some heads once the season gets going.
Yeah, I think that player would be probably one of the freshmen we brought in. She's 6'3". Her name's Sophia Fontaine, and she is just really a special kid. She's long and lanky and very good athlete. She's 6'3", and she can really she just comes out of nowhere and blocks shots, even in practice. She just block it like she swats it, like she puts some elbow like spikes it, like a volleyball player. So, I've talked to her about trying to keep it in bounds so we can get it, but But I think she would probably be the player that when people see us are going to go, oh, wow. Because, we didn't have that last year. And surprisingly, as a freshman, she's just done really, really well with her. And she's a good athlete. She moves well. Her mobility's good. She's, she can she just gets great movement. So I think she'll be the player that people will go be the biggest surprise when they see us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question, probably the toughest question.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a song that kind of gets them where they need to be mentally. What would be yours? What's your
my song.
in the zone? What gets you there?
When it gets me in a zone, oh my gosh, this is a tough one. I really, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of a little old school on that, William.
Nothing wrong with that.
I like a little old R&B.
Okay.
I'm really, I really do. I mean, I'm like a Four Tops. I just got finished seeing Earth, Wind and Fire.
Gotcha.
I would say, I just got to see finish Earth, Wind and Fire and Lionel Richie in concert. And obviously, they were awesome, both of them. You wouldn't think. Lionel Richie, he moving. But Earth, Wind and Fire, no matter what comes out of their mouth, I love it. So I'm going to go with September.
Oh, okay.
That's my song.
That's your song.
Like, that's my song. Yeah. And,
got you.
Yeah, and players want to see me dance, so they start playing that song, well, it's a sight to see, though. I'm not going, but I mean, I got a little bit of, because I'm Italian, got a little bit of that. But, so, but September, no doubt about it. I mean, I went ballistic when I saw them in they sang that song when Earth, Wind and Fire. Yeah, I just do every time. It's my favorite song.
September.
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Coach, and good luck this season.
All right. Thanks,
Appreciate
William. I appreciate you.
William Hall sitting down here with head coach of the Kennesaw State women's basketball team, Octavia Blue. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
We're here at the first ever ASUN basketball tip-off, so it's an exciting event. Just starting off, strong finish to the season last year, winning 5 of your last 7 in the regular season. You go to the postseason, defeat Jacksonville State. What kind of can you bring any of that into this season? What kind of confidence does that give you coming in with the squad this year?
Yeah, we definitely want to bring that momentum into the season. Obviously, winning the game in the tournament is huge. Okay, that's huge for our squad. I think we came out, we executed a game plan, and then ultimately we had to face Liberty, who went against FGCU in the championship game, which was a tough game for us. But we learned a ton about ourselves.
Okay, so coming in this year, our preseason poll has been released. You're coming in 5th. By the coaches and the media. So when you look at that, do you look at that and you say that's fair, or are you kind of like, oh, nah, we're better than that? Like when you see 5th, what's that?
Listen, it's fair. I mean, this is a tough league with great players and good coaches. We lost a lot of scoring from last season, but we bring a lot of veteranship with players who play huge minutes for us, ready to step up in big roles. So I'm happy where we're ranked preseason, but there's a lot of game to be played for the season, and hopefully we'll win the championships, which we strive to do.
Obviously. So, entering this year, what is something that everybody needs to know about this year's Owls?
Well, this year, Owls is the true blue era. Every player on the roster has only played for myself and our staff. We're fast, we're athletic. We recruited for the past 2 years to the style that I wish to play here in the ASUN, and I'm excited about the tools and the pieces that we have.
True blue era. Is that a hashtag? Is that on shirts? Or
it's not on
what
shirts
we doing with
or anything. But you know what? We don't have any excuses. We recruited every player in the program. We're excited about it. We know their families. They came to play for this style of play, and I'm excited to put that and showcase that on the floor.
Okay. The last question. This is the biggest question of all. You getting ready the team's ready to take the floor. You ready to go out there and do your thing. What song do you play to get you in the right mindset?
It's got to be "We Ready."
Okay.
We ready.
All right.
We ready.
I'm with you.
Go out.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Having me.
Good luck.
Thank you.
William Hall with the ASUN Gameday podcast. Head coach Brittany Young. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. Great to see you again, William. You know that I enjoyed doing some interviews with you guys last year, and just, the recognition you all bring to women's basketball. Really, really appreciate that. So great to see you again.
Good seeing you. Thank you. Appreciate that. So just in this amazing facility, just how excited, I guess, is the community for just this commitment to basketball in this city?
F&M Bank Arena is the community's arena. You know, I know you all haven't been in Clarksville long, but this is a small southern community where Austin P is the staple of this community. So building a venue like this, not only for men's and women's basketball, but we've had, you know, children's shows, concerts, ice hockey. It just is bringing a lot of culture to the community overall, and all it's going to do is continue to help us move in a forward direction.
Yep. So, shifting in a little basketball question.
Okay.
I don't think that Austin P is going to catch anybody by surprise with the year to see you all in the conference. So, I mean, you know, it's not that first year. We're not really sure.
Correct.
But what can we expect, I guess, just from your team this season?
Yeah, well, you know, I think we're fourth in preseason rankings. But, you know, like I tell our young ladies, you know, the preseason rankings don't really mean anything. I mean, you look at a team like Lipscomb last year, voted near the bottom of the conference and finished, you know, near the top. The biggest thing for us is to continue to respect the details and love the grind. And all that means is every day we step foot on this court, our practice facility, we just, you know, give it everything that we have, and we focus on being the best team that we can for that day. If we do that day after day after day, then in January, February, March, we should be playing our best basketball, and we should be putting ourselves in position to accomplish our ultimate goal.
Got you. So we had a selection to our preseason All ASUN team that was released earlier today. Who on your team is you think is ready to have that breakout year, to just ready to step up?
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, even as a head coach, sometimes you don't know because sometimes these young ladies surprise you. You know, they surprise you a little bit about who kind of steps up and takes that mantle. Just being honest with you, I mean, there's probably about 3 or 4 names I could name that I think could be huge difference makers for us. I mean, everyone knows about Shamari and what she did last year. She's not going to be a secret. Sophomore Anala Nelson, who was on the all-freshman team, she has matured a lot, and we challenge her a lot. I know I challenge her a lot as someone who's a point guard for us, and I've really been pleased with, you know, her play this offseason, her dedication and commitment, getting into the gym, being an example of what stealing minutes mean. We talk a lot about stealing minutes, you know, in our program, and she leads us in that. But then you have, you know, another talented young person in Lanaya Foster, a freshman from the Georgia area that I think has a chance to come in and make an impact. C.T. Haywood, a transfer for Quinnipiac that is so versatile. She can play virtually any position on the floor for us. And then we have Sandra Lynn, Little San, a point guard from Morehead State that had 155, 156 assists last year, second in the OVC. You know, she's a kid that really gets off getting her teammates involved. And when you have that type of unselfishness and players that lead you in those areas, we have a chance to be special as a whole.
Gotcha. Okay. Last question.
Okay.
You getting ready to go to a game.
Okay.
What's on your playlist?
Okay. Oh, it's a good question.
Yeah, you need to know.
So it depends on the day. I'll tell you that.
Oh, it gets deep then.
It depends on the day. If it's a Sunday, for sure, it's gonna be some gospel music flowing for sure. And a lot of times, even on other days, that's gonna be on the playlist. Some days you feel like you want to get a little hype. I can't, you know, I got to tell the truth. Some days you want to get a little hype. So, you know, I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. I know my girls laugh. They're like, who? Like, Coach, he's old. But I'll still listen to some of that. Usually it's gospel. Or I need to get pumped up, that one or the other. But I'm always the AirPods are always in, so I'm gonna be listening to something when y'all see me for sure. All right. Yeah, that's a good question. I like that one.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
All right, the ASUN Game Day podcast. William Hall here with Greg Todd, EKU women's basketball coach. How's the day going, Coach?
Doing very. I'm busy, but you are way busier than me. You're here every minute.
Yeah.
So
try to keep
it's
up.
good. It's good. It's a great day to start ASUN basketball. Tip off, and excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. So just first question. Antoinette Walker is our preseason player of the year. Just talk about the impact that she brings to the floor when she gets out there.
Is a young lady that's a bucket. I mean, she averaged 21 points last year, 9 rebounds, shot nearly 50% from the field. Great young lady. I'd recruited her pretty hard when I was at Morehead State. And one of those things, was able to get her to come to Eastern Kentucky, and what a pleasant young lady she's been, and very excited about her returning this year. And we have definitely a very good group with her, so excited about what the future holds.
Yep. Liche Recanati also earned preseason All-ASUN on the team. So, in your mind, who is someone else that is ready to have a breakout year for EKU this year, you believe?
We were able to do very well in the transfer portal. I think Ivy Turner was a second-team all-conference player in the Horizon League at Northern Kentucky. Ivy is a local girl and just a very solid player overall. We have Nakia Thompson. Nakia has played in the ASUN, played on a good Jacksonville State team a couple years ago. She was the starting point guard on that team. She had an injury last year, but she's, I think, very ready for her last season to do some big things. I think those two have made a big impact. We've added some post play this year that I think can make a difference as well. And we're going to be a more athletic team, a deeper team. We're looking forward to seeing where we match up, but we know it's at the top of the conference is as strong as always, with Florida Gulf Coast being the team they are, and certainly Lipscomb returning 5 starters on a 20-win season, and Austin Peay's will be a load as well, and there's several other teams that you got to be ready to play against.
Definitely. EKU finishing towards the top half of the conference last year, predicted to do the same thing this year. What can we expect though to see from EKU this season?
We feel really good about it. We feel like we've covered some of our weaknesses from last year. We did have a good group last year. We lost a couple very talented players like most teams do. But I think our athleticism this year is better. We will definitely be able to play a faster style of basketball. We'll be able to play offensively and defensively, I think, quicker. Overall, defensively, I think we'll be a better group. But we did have a good team, and it was a good league last year as well. But we feel like we can stay healthy this year. Like most teams, we should have a chance to be right at the top of our league.
Gotcha. Last question. If you're not coaching basketball, what sport are you coaching?
What sport do I coach?
Yeah, what sport would it be?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I love to play tennis. I love to play pickleball, but I don't know that I could coach those two. Probably from my early days, baseball. I was a big baseball fan. Grew up with the old Big Red Machine up in Cincinnati. So okay. Probably be in baseball.
That'll work, Coach. Appreciate your time. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
William Hall here with Lauren Sumsky, head coach of Lipscomb, making her second appearance on the ASUN Gameday podcast. So
yes.
Now many have been on here twice, so that's you're in rare company.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm thankful to be here always.
Appreciate it. So coming into the season, Jalen Holcomb, Aaliyah Sorrentino made the preseason All-ASUN team.
Yeah.
What do you expect out of those two leading into the season?
They just bring so much to our team competitively, and just their emotional intelligence and just their fire, their passion they play with.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect them to grow leadership-wise this year and take another step forward. I expect them to be players who we know we're getting every single day. And I think they've worked towards that, and I'm really proud of the progress they've made.
Gotcha. So they obviously recognition, their names are in the mix. Who is someone maybe that we may be overlooking, so to speak, or the sleeper? Who's the one that you've seen that you have the impression that may be able to turn up and have a good year?
Yeah, I think that, well, first, Bella Vincent made first team all preseason as well, and she's the quietest person we have on our team, but I think her game is probably one of the loudest, and she can just score in such a variety of ways. She's improved since last year, so we're excited about that. Really, our team's improved top to bottom, which is a blessing every year, but I think a name that you guys will be seeing a lot more of is Claire McGowan. She was a six-man for us this year. Gotcha. We're still figuring out exactly what everything will look like for us this year, but she just is a talented scorer. I mean, she can score a variety of ways. We've been trying her some off the ball a little bit more this year than we did last year, and we're really excited about the way we're progressing.
Got you. So, obviously, good season last year.
Yeah.
You coming in this year, number 2 in the poll.
Yeah.
I know that probably doesn't affect much of your approach.
None.
But when you see that, is there any sort of motivation? Is there anything you pull out of that to try to say they think we're here or they feel that we're here? So do we, just any kind of bulletin board material come out of being number 2 in the poll?
I mean, I think our team knows me. They know I'm crazy, so they know that if anything is the opposite, don't get me wrong, they will take a step back and remember how far we've come from, gosh, I think, year before I got here, won 4 games. First year, won 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful for the progress that our players have poured in, our staff has poured in. But last year we picked 13th and we finished 3rd, so it does not matter. It can't matter. We cannot get caught up in preseason stuff because there's a lot that happens in those 16 conference games and after. So we're just trying to get better every single day, and we're trying to, just keep our eyes focused on what's most important. I'm sure the girls are a little bit happy, for the recognition of their hard work, but they also know that we got to show up tomorrow and do what we have to do tomorrow, and then take care of each day one at a time.
Got you. So last question. I know your pregame, the motivation speeches. It's a podcast legend.
Stop.
Like, oh no, what?
Yeah.
You have no idea how we carried and ran with that. So, what song gets you in that zone to be able to just be there? What gets you up there? What's
a lot of it is my faith. And I was blessed with amazing faith and a lot of spiritual leaders in my life. And the song that I listen to is Sea of Victory. And it's not talking about a basketball game. It's talking about that faith walk and that journey. But I just get fired up. I'm passionate. But I'm passionate because I'm excited to do what I get to do every day. I'm really blessed to be able to walk out my purpose with amazing people, amazing players every single day. So every day is a gift. Every day I'm living my dream. And there's nothing else that I can ask for. So I have no choice but to be pumped up and fired up about it every single day. And I know that's a lot sometimes, but we're just thankful. It's just grateful every day. But if you see me before a game, I'm probably listening to Sea of Victory on repeat, singing it loudly and horribly, and dulling out everybody's ears around me. But I'm enjoying it.
We love to see it. Keep the energy. Keep the energy.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time. Good luck this season.
Thank you so much, William. Thank you.
William Hall here on the ASUN Gameday podcast with Carl Smesco, FGCU women's basketball head coach. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So, obviously, tremendous success over the past couple of years, longer than that. But I guess my question is, every team is different. What's special about this year's FGCU women's basketball team?
Well, we have over half the team is new this year, so bringing our returners and these new players together to try and hopefully build a special team. We know it's going to take quite a bit of work, but so far we've had a good attitude about learning and working together, and hopefully we can see improvement every day.
Got you. A couple weeks out from the start of the season, who are you looking at eyeing who could be ready for a good breakout year for you?
I'm really not avoiding the question, but we added some really talented players, and we've only been practicing together for a couple weeks, and after some practices, I'd tell you this player looks like they're all conference and ready to go, and then the next day somebody else has a great day. So it really could be any number of players. We have a lot of really good players, and we'll see how that separates itself over the next few weeks.
Got you. Obviously, you being around the conference and seeing it for quite a while, what do you think is the state of ASUN women's basketball right now? Like when you look around the league, how do you feel about just the conference from the sport perspective?
Well, I think there's a lot of really good teams, especially this year. So it's going to be, quite a challenge. A lot of good returning players on most of the teams. So the ASUN's in a good place in regard to that. And then with all conferences, you always got to be concerned about who's coming in, if anybody's going somewhere else, and you just have to be ready for changes and be adaptable and handle it the best you can. But I would say the ASUN right now has, with the membership it has, we have the ability to grow this league into something special.
Gotcha. Last question, a bit of a softball question, but if you're not coaching basketball, what sport are you the head coach of?
And if I'm not coaching basketball, hopefully I'm not coaching at all.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm and I don't know any of the other sports well enough to really coach any of them, but it'd be interesting. Sometimes you think if you weren't coaching, what would you be doing? And I don't really have any experience or skills at much else. So I'm glad the coaching worked out for as many years as it has.
Got you. That'll work. Well, I appreciate your time and thank you.
Hey, thank you. It's good talking to you.
Yep. Good luck this season, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.